What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. So today we're actually gonna go ahead and start up the Corvette. This thing has been sitting for a while. It's low-key kind of been neglected for the last month or so. I haven't driven it at all, neither has my dad. As you saw in the last video, there was a transmission leak or transmission fluid leak, which has stopped me from driving it. Today we're gonna start this thing up. The battery is dead, so we're gonna have to jump it, start it up, try to find that leak and hopefully patch it if we can, or find out ways that we can. And then we wanna go ahead and start doing some maintenance on it, like oil change, spark plugs. But today, let's just focus on getting it started, finding that leak, and getting this thing back on the road. So we got the car hooked up to the other car. They're sitting. I'm gonna let it sit for about 10-15 minutes. Hopefully the battery can charge up just a little bit. I'm not sure if it's bad or not, but I'm hoping that it isn't. I couldn't fit my car in here because it's way too big, and I don't want this to roll outside on the little tiny hill that we have, not start again, and then have to push it all the way back in. So I wanted to leave it right here in the garage and then pull this car in as much as possible so that it could just kind of fit right in this tight little space, and get this car started. So while we're waiting for this car to charge up, I did want to show you guys a few things I added to the garage. And for one, it's a toolbox. I've never actually owned a toolbox, so I'm way more excited than I should be for this. But I finally went out and bought this big toolbox. They're actually pretty pricey, but as you can see, it's a big boy. It's from Husky. I got a great deal on it, which is why I bought it. Now I just need tools to fill it up. Right now I just have the bare minimum basics. It has a smooth, soft close drawers. Everything is already lined with its original liner that came with it, which is great. And it comes with, I think it's 9 different drawers, so it's more than enough space. It comes with this great butcher top on the top of it, so use this as a workbench, whatever you'd like. And as you can see, it comes with an outlet because it has more outlets on the side, so now you can plug in whatever you want right here. It even has USB, an on and off switch for whatever reason. And then it comes with these brackets. You can put on different like add-ons to this, or even magnetic ones to stick them to the side. But I like it because I know they make quite a few little drawers or something that can add on to this. And this is a larger version, so I think there's a 24-inch version in terms of width, and then there's this one, which is a lot more. I forgot which. So this is actually the 24-inch version one, and then they have the usual one, which is 18. So I'm glad I got the bigger one. I got it for even cheaper than the 18-inch one, which was a great deal. And overall, I'm super happy. So that's like the first step into me creating my dream garage. Is my first ever toolbox, which I never had before. Like I said, I'm too excited to have this. I really don't know why, but I was so happy that I got this, and hopefully it just makes it easier for me to buy more tools and store them in here correctly and not lose anything. Right now I have just tools and drills just sitting around the house because I never had any actual place to put them. So now I can actually move the tools that are sitting in this closet, like these right here, and give them a proper place. As for these tires and rims right here, I did want to add like a tire rack right up there. This place isn't going to be used because obviously we have the trash can and stuff here, but I want to add a tire rack right there so that way I can get those out the way. They do take a lot of space, so I want to put them up there, get them out the way. And once we do that, we'll have a little bit more space to use over here, and then I won't have to like just see a stack of tires and rims just sitting there for no reason. I'm not going to use them for any time soon, so might as well get them out the way. As you guys can hear, we finally got the Corvette started. It's running fine, so I think it was just the battery that was dead. Obviously the trans fluid is still low, we need to add more in. But let's go ahead and move this out there so that we can not die of some toxic fumes or get those fumes in our lungs. But we're gonna go ahead and move this thing back. Obviously we don't want to drive this too much with the fluids being the way they are, but better for it to be out here, let it run for about 15-20 minutes just so I can recharge this battery and I know it's bad for cars to sit around. As old as that car is, it looks absolutely beautiful still. If you can't tell, I cleaned up the rim just a tiny bit yesterday while it was just sitting in the garage, and they look beautiful. Imagine if those were like a gunmetal gray, more shine to it rather than these. I think the car would look absolutely beautiful. But I got the T-tops off. One of them is actually sitting over here because I need to fix this little broken bracket. So I need to pick out all this junk off of this bracket and basically plastic JB weld this back together. That goes for this one as well. And hopefully that situates that problem. But I washed away most of the trans fluid that was leaking out. You can see there's still a red streak right here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and wash out the rest of the garage while I'm at it, just so when we park this car back in, there's nothing left on the garage floor that I didn't see before. So good news and bad news. Bad news, the Corvette is still leaking oil, but good news is the epoxy floor is working. There was a bunch of like small droplets of oil sitting right here, but I just sprayed some all-purpose degreaser on it and it all just washed away. So that's the main purpose. We did the epoxy flooring to begin with, so I'm glad. We're gonna let that thing get up to temp. In the meantime, I have a few other things that I wanna show you guys that I got for the garage, and it's this right here. Let's get to what I got in the box, and I think you guys are gonna like this, especially if you guys are some car guys. I think you guys are gonna like this one. So I got this from a company called Displate. They're actually some metal posters that people can put anywhere in their house. My choice was to put it in the garage, but we're gonna look at these. These are actually cars I want in my garage one day. These are kind of the cars, in my opinion, that make a dream garage. And if I don't own these cars one day, I'm gonna be super upset. This is just my way of using the law of attraction to one day get these in my personal garage. These are absolutely my top 5 favorites. So that just gives you a hint that there's 5 of them. I wanted 5 of these cars one time. I don't care if it's when I hit 60. I want these cars all sitting in my garage one day when I wake up on a Saturday morning, and I want the option to drive any of them at any given time. So obviously there's more, but these are the 5 that I would have if I couldn't have anything else. So first up, if you haven't guessed it already, is this car is by far on everyone's top 5, and it's the Mark IV Supra. So I'm a huge fan of the Mark V, but the Mark IV is just unbeatable. Try and get the gleam off, but this thing is absolutely beautiful. The poster itself is super nice, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that there. So number 2 is the BMW E30. This car is absolutely amazing. It's so beautiful, a timeless classic car. And I, in my opinion, they don't make cars like this anymore. I love all the new BMWs as well, but this is by far the cleanest of them all. I would take this over an F80 or a G80, to be honest. And if you don't know what a G80 or F80 is, that's the 2016 model BMW and the 2021 model BMW that just came out. But I would take this over them, and especially in white, can't beat it. You know my love for white cars. Next up, we got the Godfather of JDM. One of the Godfathers of JDM. I think the Mark IV Supra falls into that category as well. But we got the R34 GTR right here, and this one's colorway in this poster is absolutely amazing. I love how it has like the Japanese sun around. It has a red accent right here, and then you have again the white R34. I love white, and this thing looks absolutely beautiful. Second last one is actually, I wouldn't say this is a unanimous across all boards. This is kind of one of my favorites, but it's the E36 M3. This car is super nice. I would actually take this E36 over an E46 M3. I know E46 holds like such a high reputation in the car world, but I would personally take the E36. I just love the boxier look of it, and the long hood especially just makes the world of a difference in this car. Obviously, I wouldn't go blue. I would either go black, gray, or white, but that's the color they had for the poster, so that's what I went with. And not mad at it, still love the car, still one of my top 5s. And lastly, this is my #1 favorite car in the world. So if I do buy another car, I think this would be it. I wouldn't mind shelling out like $40,000, $50,000 for this car. It's timeless, it's classic, it's the Datsun. I do not have a preference on the 240, 260, or 280. It just has to be this body style. I absolutely love it. The poster is absolutely amazing. It has a Japanese license plate as the background, which adds such a nice characteristic to this poster. But these are the 5 cars that I got for my metal posters from Displate, and we're gonna go ahead and add them to the garage. So they're gonna go right there. So as soon as you walk into the garage, you're gonna see them sitting right above whatever car's sitting in here, and all 5 of them are gonna go on that wall. So I got the hood open, I pulled out the trans fluid dipstick, and it's saying that, here, let me try to get this focused so you guys can see. It's saying that we're good on fluid, which is very confusing. Now, I'm not sure why it was leaking then, because in terms of this dipstick, it says it's fine, the fluid levels are fine. I'm not sure if there was too much in there, which is why it was leaking. Maybe it was just sitting too long and all that excess kind of just dripped out. Maybe there's some type of overflow system. I'm really not sure. If any of you are, please comment down below, because now I'm very confused, because according to the dipstick, it says we're good. And I don't want to put any more in if it's just going to leak out again. So obviously I'm not going to drive it just to be safe. I'm going to go ahead and start checking the oil level, and hopefully that's good as well. I did put some in pretty recently when I drove it back from North Carolina, which was the last main voyage I had. But let's go ahead and see what's up with the car. So I just checked both the oil and the transmission fluid again, and everything seems to be fine. What my diagnosis is that there was some excess trans fluid inside the engine, and once the car was sitting for a while, it kind of just pissed it out. I'm actually thinking about taking it for a small drive just because everything seems to be okay. So I just drove it around the neighborhood and it's driving perfectly. I don't see or feel anything wrong with it. I just came back here just to make sure everything was okay and it was running properly, and everything seems to be fine. It's not running weird, the shifts are all good, they're all smooth, nothing to worry about there. It's not making any weird noises. As you can see behind me, I finally got all the posters up and they look absolutely amazing. I thought they were gonna be a little bit too small for the wall, but as you can see, they look great and they're a good size and they fit up. So I think we have about 7 or 8 inches in between each one, and we have 2 of them horizontally and then the rest vertically. They look great. I'll give you guys a closer look. One thing I did notice was they're not glossy, they're more of a matte finish on all of them. And I guess that's a good thing, because with me recording in this and the bright LEDs, you won't get a reflection like this. You just see the actual full color of the poster. And I guess that's just one good thing that came out of it. I actually thought they were gonna be gloss, and I didn't think that would be an issue. So, hey, I'm glad things worked out. If you like this vlog style video, please let me know down in the comments below. Obviously it was kind of all over the place with the Corvette, with the toolbox, with this stuff. It was what I was doing today, so I thought why not vlog it, see how it is. But stay tuned for more videos. We got more C3 Corvette stuff coming up and Dodge Charger stuff coming up soon. So stay tuned, subscribe, follow me on Instagram if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.